The night at the Frost residence appeared to be ordinary, as Kirk and Rasheeda, who are well known for their enterprising spirit, balanced their professional lives with their family responsibilities while attempting to keep their marriage intact. However, under the surface tensions were simmering rumors about Kirk's loyalty, and few couples have captivated the public's attention like Kirk and Rasheeda Buckner Frost. Their journey on love, and hip-hop has been filled with drama, love, betrayal, and ambition. But recent events have sent Rasheeda's growing frustrations as the couple navigated the turbulent and glamorous world of reality television. Sadly, this was real life. As the evening went on, the atmosphere grew more and more charged. What started out as a disagreement over routine household matters quickly turned into a scandal that sent shockwaves through their fan base, turning their once-invited relationship into a headline-grabbing scandal. When the police arrived at the Frost home, they found themselves in a tense situation after a brief assessment of the situation and interviews with both sides. The neighbors, alarmed by the commotion, had called 911 to report a domestic disturbance, chosen to detain Kirk due to the fact that, when the news broke, Rashi appeared to be deeply disturbed and had red, swollen eyes from crying. Fans who had followed the couple through their highs and lows on social media erupted in shock, disbelief, and fear, and they had to deal with the fact that their cherished pair was now involved. As the story progressed, it became clear that this was more than just rage. Several years of relationship issues had caused it. In such a serious situation, Rasheeda stoked the flames with an impassioned Instagram post. "I never imagined having to deal with this." There was a photo of her in the caption that demonstrated her strength and vulnerability. Intense feelings were building in the days after the defeat, and insiders in the entertainment industry speculated about the toll that fame from reality TV shows may have on people's personal lives due to the need to keep up a beautiful appearance while coping with. You can make powder with your own demons. Though they disagreed, a number of followers came together to stand for Rasheeda and urged her to put her safety first. Other fans showed their commitment to Kirk by begging for compassion and understanding, noting how much they had seen them suffer. One fan lamented the tension that exhibited herself in both virtual and real-world settings as she looked to close friends and family for guidance, reflecting on the years of her marriage and assessing the benefits and drawbacks of each romantic trip they had taken together. The contrast between them appears to be that each had a moment of betrayal or disappointment. While lies were acted out for the cameras, the real story was much more nuanced. In the meantime, Kirk had to deal with the consequences of his actions legally, having to appear in court soon, the reality of his marriage, and the incident itself. As he read himself for the court appearance, he expressed sadness and confusion, saying, "The road to reconciliation was anything but clear on the day of the court hearing." As the drama grew, it was reminiscent of the most suspenseful movies, with questions about what might happen, Kirk taking responsibility for his actions, Rasheeda standing by him, or her choosing to move on, growing. Love and hip-hop episodes, but with greater stakes. Rasheeda was resolute in prioritizing the health of herself and her kids, according to close friends. She was also analyzing her alternatives and imagining what life may be like without Kirk, as supporters expected the outcome of their acts as a warning on the complexities of human relationships and love fidelity. Since actual lives are at risk, the stab of Kirk and Rasheeda has taken on a life of its own. Although there were many unknowns about the future, one thing was certain: Frost's journey was as he ready to disclose a startling revelation that had shocked the film business. Kirk Frost stared at it with a mixture of amazement and smoldering rage as he leaned against the sleek countertop of his opulent studio. It was allegedly stolen by Rasheeda, his former partner and ex-wife. Their combined ventures brought in $9 million. It's not just a rumor. This is a reality that I've been struggling with for far too long. Kirk began speaking slowly and with emotion, and I trusted her. Therefore, it seems betrayal on many levels for the studio, which was once a hub for collaboration and creativity, to learn that she has been siphoning off money from us. Regret and nostalgia combined to make it feel like a battleground right now. Reminiscing about their early days together, Kirk thought that their success stemmed from hard work and dedication as they developed an empire in the music industry, transforming their dreams into a thriving brand that branched out into fashion and lifestyle. Honor for one another, but the difficulties increased as the business grew. I believed it was just mismanagement or accounting problems, but when I saw small at first but increasingly substantial differences in their finances started to deal farther, it was like witnessing a house of cards. Kirk shook his head as memos flowed back. Fall apart in front of my eyes when I found records of transfers that were incomprehensible. The issue grew when he decided to hire a forensic accountant to examine the accounts. When the report did eventually surface, it was a dupe punch, with proof directly pointing to Rasheeda and exposing secret transactions and unauthorized withdrawals. Depicted a startling image of treachery. The statistics were heartbreaking, and he kept talking hardly above a whisper. It's one thing to differ on economic matters, but this was overt stealing. Each day that went by, Kirk's anxiety about the results increased. He was worried that I wasn't feeling well. Kirk recalled the moment. An accountant handed him the report. The glowing numerals before his eyes represented dashed hopes and misdirected. The public gobbled up every aspect of the couple's turbulent history filled with love, and believers who followed and were inspired by Kirk and Rasheeda responded with shock and disbelief on social media as the couple's ash trended. Fervor and tension amidst the escalating conflict. I couldn't shake the horror of discovering that the person I trusted the most was embezzling money from me. I had sacrificed everything for our brand. Kirk reflected on their relationship's past highs and lows. I never imagined it would come to this. Due to this, I feel as though I'm losing a close friend as well as a professional associate. Surrounded by mementos of their past shared ambitions, Kirk claimed Rasheeda spoke very little, which only served to spark speculation while they sat in the studio. Kirk let out a fury, stating, "I deserve answers. I want to know how and why she did this. Imagine she could get away with it. We built this together. It's not just about the money." Kirk was determined to recoup what had been lost. He began investigating his legal options because he felt compelled to take action because the loss involved more than just money. It involved integrity and respect. I built this empire with my blood, sweat, and tears, and I won't allow it to. Far from seeking legal counsel and organizing his next move, the fallout from this revelation would undoubtedly shatter their combined personal and professional lives. There might even be legal repercussions. Additionally, how would this affect their standing with the people who supported them during Kirk's illness? Dealt with the turbulent waters he was in, setting the stage for a dramatic tale that would captivate audiences was Kirk Frost's revelation about Rasheeda's purported betrayal. A complicated web of emotions, including hurt, betrayal, and the nagging question of how love could become such a thing, lay behind the glitz and glamour of their public personalities. He announced a new sense of purpose through his revelation, which alarmed me. I owe it to our legacy and to myself to carry this through to the end by sacrificing himself for the fight that lies ahead. In spite of criticism and assurances from friends and allies that he wasn't fighting, Kirk continued, saying that his resolve hardened and he wouldn't back down. That fight by itself and that accountability put an end to everyone watching Kirk prepare for the approaching storm by realizing that eventually the truth would be revealed. Although the future was uncertain, one thing was certain: the struggle between love and treachery would play out in unexpected ways, keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. To see how this thrilling chapter would unfold. Kirk ambled into the dimly illuminated living room, a mounting tide of betrayal and wrath washing over him with each stride. He felt very affected by Rasheeda's revelation. He said in a low, hushed voice that was almost audible above a whisper, "You really did it." Her look of defiance told me that you had cheated on me. With her arms folded, Rasheeda stood. He felt his heart sink in shock and rage, wondering who else I knew who could truly have fun occasionally. "Kirk, you think you're the only one who can. I guess I should just step back and let things go. I didn't come here to play the blame game. Keep your questions to yourself. You had your fair share of late nights and whisper conversations. Do you really think you could have just turned a blind eye? She drew nearer. Her eyes gleamed viciously. I thought we were creating something genuine, but you made me look foolish. Welcome to the club, Kirk. She began to accelerate her breathing, snarling. It's not about getting even. I defend my rights. I wanted to think that her voice was shaking, her bravado faltering just enough for him to see the hurt beneath the anger, and that she was worn out of being the one who had to put up with this. He ran a hand through his hair, feeling the weight of betrayal crush him. So that's your excuse? You thought he would just cheat back? That's how you survive. You could change, so I moved forward. He struggled to maintain control, his voice steadying as he said, one who gives trampled on. So why didn't you simply tell me? Why didn't you confront me about what I did? She acknowledged that the fire in her eyes had somewhat subsided, but he went on. I never wanted that. I thought we were in this together. I felt invisible, and like I had no choice every time I tried to talk to you. It was like hitting a wall, and I couldn't just wait for you to choose to be honest. You made me feel unworthy. This made you think that I wanted to be the one to cheat. With tears dancing at the edges of her eyelids, Rasheeda shook her head. Her statement struck me as being really serious. Kirk softened his face and took a deep breath. I didn't realize that by keeping things light, I was attempting to protect you and maintain us afloat by lying, he said. You can't establish a relationship with someone who is angry. She shot back, but the sharpness in her voice had subsided. Connection based on silent half-truths. I apologize. I was under the impression that I could handle things on my own. I never meant to cause you any harm. What do you want now? What would you like from us right now? Kirk asked in a near whisper.